Hey everyone, this is Carmen, and today we're going to go over a case study about cold emailing from the SaaS company Ambition, and you're going to learn how to increase the open rates and the conversion rates of your own cold email campaigns. So to begin, a little bit about Ambition. They're a SaaS company that sells sales performance management software, so essentially things like analytics, helping businesses set goals, help reward their employees. And just like most SaaS companies, probably like yours, even if you have a little startup or an agency, you need to get clients, you need to make money. So what Ambition set out to do was a cold email campaign. And just for a little overview, they sent out 578 emails. They had that many prospects. This was back in 2014, and it was only from November to December. So it was a 6-week campaign, pretty short, guys. And they emailed 291 VPs of sales and 287 VPs of sales operations. Now, they did up to 8 touch points, guys. So the original email, then 7 follow-ups, and they generated 73 new leads. And if you have a little company or you're a solopreneur, like 73 new leads is massive, guys. Like you don't need to be doing huge campaigns or for too long. If you're a solopreneur like me, like 73 new leads, that's like you can't even manage that. That's so much work. So we're going to go over how they achieve this and how you can too. So this is one of the first sub campaigns they ran, and this was the VPs of Sales Operations. So you can see that there's touch points 1 through 8, and that their first email had a really good open rate, nearly 70%, 66.67, and that was 142 people they contacted, 72 opened it, and then they only had 1 person reply, so it wasn't too good. But you can see as they continued to follow up, the response rate went up, and it kind of tapered off, and so did the open rate. And then on that second campaign, it was pretty similar. The first email actually had a really good response rate, pretty similar open rate, and then once again it kind of goes up, tapers off, but all in all they had 34 replies, it looks like, 34 leads from these 2 sub-campaigns. And then the next 2 sub-campaigns were for the VP of Sales. And you can see that first one, they emailed 142, half of them opened, 68% actually, and they had no one respond. But following up, gotta follow up, guys, they started to get 5%, 7%, 6% response rate, right? And it kind of goes up, tapers off a bit, comes back up. And then in that second campaign, second sub-campaign, they had only a 1% response rate, that first email, that jumped up to 10%. And then it kind of goes down a little bit, tapers up, tapers off. And then in total, they had 22 new leads on that second sub-campaign. So just a little bit more insight into overall what they did and achieved. So they had 73 positive responses out of the 572 leads, okay? So that's over a 10% response rate, guys. That's fantastic. That's really good nowadays. And 24 of those 73 came after 6 to 8 touch points, okay? Like they were following up, that's key. And also 49 happened at 1 through 5. That means almost 1/3 of the responses happened after 6 or more follow-ups, guys. Like you gotta follow up, and actually 44% of sales reps are quitting after 1 touch point. Like, are you doing this? Because I know I've done that in the past where I was doing cold emailing, cold calling. I would just have 1 touch point and I would call it a day, and you're missing out on so much money if you're not following up. And that actually brings me to the next point, is what can you learn from this? What are the main things? So the number 1 thing would be following up. Don't be a dummy, don't just email once, you gotta follow up. And the best thing to do is to leave a few days in between your cold emails. If you're emailing C-level executives, directors, VPs, they're busy people, right? And they have bosses and colleagues they're getting emails from, which are definitely going to take priority. So give them a little bit of a breathing space, breathing room between each email. Don't be too aggressive. Next up, you got to use CRM. I use HubSpot. There's Bittrex, Agile CRM, so many out there, and a lot of them are free. I like HubSpot, just the one I use. And what it's going to allow you to do is plug in all your leads and then create sequences and automation so you can email them, and then it'll automatically follow up if they don't respond after a day or 2. So it's going to save you a lot of time and energy and really boost the results. So get a CRM if you don't. All right, so thirdly, you do have to personalize all your emails. I know that I personally get a lot of emails and it's clearly copy and pasted, and I bet you guys can agree that they just get deleted, right? There's just no personalization, there's no sincerity. Clearly they put no time to research you or what you do. So that's why when you email, you want to make sure that you're using the first person's name or the person's first name. You want to make sure that you're mentioning their company name, any kind of achievements, portfolio pieces, like to show that you clearly did your research. You're not a bot, you're not copy and pasting something. and you're actually taking your time. And they're going to appreciate that, and it's been proven over and over again to increase your open rates and your reply rates. Now, lastly, you got to use a call to action. Your emails cannot be open-ended. It's not going to go anywhere, and that's how you're going to actually decrease your response rates, because they're going to open it, and it doesn't really ask them anything or tell them anything, so it is deleted. So make sure you're saying, hey, is Monday at 10 a.m. a good time to chat about this? Let me know a good time to call. There has to be some kind of action, or at least a question that implies further action, okay? And now, so number 2 is you gotta email at the right time, guys. You can't be sending out emails whenever you feel like it, before bed, when you have your morning coffee. There's very specific times that work, okay? So the first time is before 9 a.m. Now, before 9 a.m. works, because think about it, people are working 9 to 5 typically. If you email before 9 a.m., you're most likely going to be one of the first emails they see. So you're just increasing your chance of your open rate and your response rate, because if you're buried under other emails, it's going to take longer and it's going to be harder, right? And if they've went through like 20 emails, they might be kind of tired, and then they might just push yours aside. And now that's also why emailing after 5 makes sense, because once again, people are going home, and if you email them past 5, come in the morning, you're probably going to be one of the first emails they see. Now, this is also why Sunday works the best, because, if you email on Friday or Saturday, people aren't checking their emails, they're getting other emails on those days. It's just going to pile up. It's going to get buried. So email, sometime on Sunday, and you should be one of the first emails they see on Monday. So now the third thing I want to talk about is what's in it for them. This is a really big problem that I've done in the past, and I see a lot of people do this when they cold email, is they talk too much about themselves. They're not talking about the client and what's in it for them. So what Ambition found actually with their emailing is that talking too much about them and their features wasn't too good, but focusing on what benefited the prospect worked best. So not only when you emailed them mattered, but what the message was mattered just as much. So for example, if you offered SEO services, you have a little SEO agency, you wouldn't want to say, hey, I do backlink building, guest posting, and things like that, blah, blah, blah. You'd want to say, you can mention these things, but you definitely would want to say, hey, I can increase your traffic. I'm going to improve your rankings. With more people coming to your website, you're going to be able to make more sales and get more clients yourself. Not speak in their language, guys. It's not too complex, but it's these little things that add up that's going to make your cold email campaigns have better open rates, response rates, and you're going to get way more leads. I know Ambition even said that if they had not followed up and they only emailed once, they would have only gotten 6 leads, guys. By following up, they were able to get 73. So you got to put in more work. Those little things, that little bit of effort is going to multiply your results by so much. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe, like the video. I'll be uploading more pretty soon. And now I actually wrote an in-depth article on cold emailing, and I have templates and more steps in there. If you want to read that, I'll throw in the description. But I appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.